Hi, I'm Judy, and welcome to Spooktacular Halloween Tales. These are family-friendly stories, and I hope you enjoy them. I will also be sharing a little bit of Halloween history. Halloween, where does it come from? Well, over 2,000 years ago, there was this festival, and it was a Celtic festival, which meant the Irish, the English, and the Scots all celebrated this festival. And it was celebrated on November 1st. And it was originally called All Hallows Even. And then that became Hallows Even. And then Halloween, that was a contribution by the Scottish people. And then Halloween, which is what we celebrate today. This next story is called Twas Midnight. It's based on an original poem that I created. Twas midnight when it happened, when the witches came out. They came to their cellars and started to brew. They babbled some words, which were silly words too, gibbly-goop and gobbly-goop. When 12 o'clock struck, they stopped stirring the mash, said a few words, gibbly-gip and gobbly-goop, and were gone in a flash. This next story is called The Old Lady Who Wasn't Afraid of Anything. Once there was this old lady who lived at the edge of a forest. She was very brave. All the people in the village thought she shouldn't be living so close to the forest where all those scary creatures were. But she said, I am not afraid of anything. And she basically wasn't. One day, when she went off into the forest, she began to collect her herbs that she used in her cooking. First, she came across some rosemary and she picked that. And then there was some thyme. And the farther and deeper she got into the forest, she forgot how deep that was. And before she knew it, she was very, very deep into the forest. And it had become nightfall. She looked around and she said to herself, that's okay, because I'm brave. I'm not afraid of anything. I'll just walk back. It's a little darker than usual. It's a little later than usual, but everything will be fine. But as she began to walk back through the woods, she heard something. She wasn't sure what it was, and she didn't want to look back to see what it was, but she did walk a little bit faster. Then she heard it again. And when she looked back, well, then she saw it. And it went stomp, stomp. This next story is called Why the Witch Swallowed the Fly. How did it come about? Well, you see, I'm sure all of you know the old lady who swallowed a fly. But it drove me nuts. Why would this old lady swallow the fly? So I came up with a story that helps with the Halloween theme, and it also explains why the witch swallowed the fly. One day, Matilda the witch was having a party. So she was going to clean up her house before her guests got there. And she looked around to what she needed to do. And she started sweeping the floor. And then she was cleaning her cauldron. Oh, but it was so dusty. So she opened her window. And as she opened the window, a nice little breeze came through. And then she continued to clean up her house. But she was so tired, you see. She had stayed up very late in all her excitement because she was having a party and all her guests were arriving. And she opened up her mouth really, and she yawned. And at that exact moment when her mouth was wide open, because the window was wide open, in flew a fly right in her mouth. It popped. Yuck! And Matilda the witch began to cry. Oh my, I've swallowed a fly. This next story is called The 12 Little Ghosts, and it's like a song. 12 little ghosts standing in a row. One yelled, "Boo!" and off it did go. 11 little ghosts, well, they were standing in a row. One yelled, "Boo!" and off it did go. 10 little ghosts, all standing in a row. One yelled, "Boo!" and off it did go. This next story is called The Selfish Old Witch, which is another adaptation of a story that I converted for Halloween. One day, there was this selfish old witch, and she lived on a farm all by herself because she didn't like to share anything with anyone. And one day she found, what looked like a little seed. Now, she could have been generous and given this little seed to some little bird. But no. She said, "I'm going to plant this seed and find out what it is. And then I will eat it all by myself." Thank you for listening to my Halloween tales. I hope you enjoyed those little excerpts of the stories that are very family friendly. If you're interested, you can contact me at Begin With a Story, and I can either do it live virtually, or I can give you a pre-recording of all this program, and it's about an hour long. I look forward to hearing from you, and happy Halloween.